Hey, what's up, everybody? So, probably noticing different background. I have left Bali after being there for a year and a half. A year and a half was more than enough time to spend there. Awesome place, learned so much, had so much fun there. Life is not always going to be fun, and happiness, and I'm going to come back to this in this video. That's that should never be the goal, to be happy all the time, okay? But yeah, I had an awesome time, awesome ride. Bali will be unforgettable for me, and now I'm back in Thailand. So I'm in a new place now, and I'm sure over the coming weeks this background will probably change a little bit as I settle in and kind of turn this environment into something that reflects what I like more, feel more comfortable, make it more at home. So this video, I want to talk about, oh, and by the way, yes, still no shirt. I'm working on it, I'm working on it. So in this video, I want to talk about, I think, the core of most of our suffering, not necessarily only just after a breakup or going through heartbreak, just in life in general. One of the big issues we face as humans is loneliness, emptiness, and especially in breakups. And I'm seeing this a lot. I'm coaching a few people at the moment right now, and also just the comments and emails I'm getting. I see this over and over again. Thing is, look, when you're with someone, and if it's like a relationship, or it could just be a friendship, when you're with someone, around someone, and you're with them a lot, every day, seeing them all the time, it's going to give you a different way of experiencing life. And usually it's more of a heightened, more stimulated. People can be stimulating. In fact, that's why people can be such a powerful drug, because other human beings being around them is extremely stimulating. And this is why people have a hard time being on their own, because especially after a breakup or something like that, because when you're around someone who's stimulating, let's say if you're in a relationship with someone, even if you guys were fighting, even if you guys were not getting along, even if you guys hated each other, which, by the way, most relationships are like that. But when we break up, and usually a few weeks after a breakup, or a month or a couple months, all we can remember is just the good things about that person. We forget all the shit, all the crap that we hated when we were with these people. But nonetheless, whether there was fighting, whether there was a lot of shit, whether there was a lot of crap mixed in with the good moments, even if the good moments were rare, regardless of the good and bad, one thing is for sure, that we feel stimulated around people. So imagine if you are seeing someone, even just as a friend or relationship, whatever, every day, and you are stimulated by this person. Like I said, it could be good, it could be bad. Your senses are more heightened. There's more going on. Okay, there's more stuff happening when you're with this person, as opposed to when you're on your own. Everything when you experience it will be different when you're with this person. Even drinking a cup of tea, as I said in one of my last videos, going out for dinner, and there's probably more reason for you to do things that you would not normally do on your own when you are with someone else. So there's this tendency to maybe, let's say, have more fun, but I don't like calling it that. I will say there's a tendency to do more. Again, it's a stimulation thing. So you're exposing yourself to more stimulation, more activities, more stuff. So, of course, it's going to be very, very different when this person is gone and when you are no longer in this situation, in this environment. It's going to feel emptier. You're going to feel lonelier. It's going to feel quieter. You're going to feel that emptiness, that sadness, that loss, that, missing that person. You can call it heartbreak. There's this hole that's left behind by all that stimulation that was going on. Okay? Now, when this happens, from what I have seen, just with people that I've been coaching or talking to, or just myself, my personal life experience, or the people around me, most people, when, let's say, they go through a breakup or they lose that stimulation, they lose all of that, they immediately try to replace it um, with stimulation of some kind. And usually it's going to be other people. So people will do rebounds, or people go onto internet dating and just try to communicate and with people and just kind of get that attention, or get that interaction, get that stimulation going. And this is very, very common. This is a very common thing. Um, I'm not going to say don't do it, it's bad, but all I'm going to say is what happens. I'm just going to outline the different situations and why this is something you have to be very aware of and mindful of. Because yes, it is a crutch to do things like that too soon. Because look, when we feel like crap after we've lost someone, in any way, or it could be even lost your job or your pet, or it can be anything that you lose that was giving you that more of a heightened experience of life. Okay, when you go from more to less, basically, okay, there can be this vacuum, this emptiness, and if we try to fill it with other people, like just chatting to other people or dating, or just trying to keep ourselves, occupied. It's okay to do that, but it's important to pick good things, healthy distractions, healthy replacements, healthy crutches. Okay? For example, if you're a smoker and then you quit smoking, nicotine patch is kind of like a bridge for you to transition back to normal life, back to enjoying the normal. You're going from a heightened, stimulated way of living to back to normal, and normal is awesome. Normal is amazing. Any level is amazing. It's just where you decide to live. Are you living in a heightened kind of world? And if you are, you're gonna risk things going down. So there's no right or wrong. It's just how you decide to set up your life. And if you're smarter, wiser, you're going to set up the things that stimulate you are going to be more things that last a long time. As I said in my other videos, for example, a Buddhist monk is going to train himself or focus and spend more of his time to be stimulated by simple things like eating, drinking a glass of water. Those will be his or her things that will stimulate. And those things are going to be around probably until the end of time. So the Buddhist monk is keeping him or herself very, very, very much in a good place. But we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. So yes, it is a crutch, okay, if you're going to be doing anything to fill that hole, because ultimately what we need to do is we need to go through the pain, go through the emptiness, go feel it. It's kind of like when you have eaten something really bad. When you eat it, it's going to hurt your stomach. You're going to feel in pain, and you're going to start puking. And it hurts when you puke. It doesn't feel good. And it's the same thing as when you're, gone from being in a relationship to now there's this huge vacuum. I was just talking to someone who's drinking a lot now. to kind of numb the pain. You don't want to do that because you're not going to escape your pain. You're going to make it worse. So you've got to just be brave, have courage. Remember, life takes courage. Let's not forget about courage, about being brave. Life is a lot of ups and downs. And the pain that we feel is our body trying to speak to us. Pain is basically our body speaking to us. It's not this huge, big, major bad thing that's going on. Like, oh, I feel depressed and lonely. I don't want this. Blah. Relax, everybody. Relax. Okay? Pain is your body's way of communicating to you, to us. All right? It can be physical pain when we get punched or hurt or cut, or it could be emotional, mental pain when we're depressed, sad, angry, something hurts us, someone hurts our feelings or whatever. It's our body basically trying to tell us, hey, look, this is not good. You need to rethink the path that you're taking. Okay, so it's basically when we get hurt, our bodies, our mind telling us, hey, be aware of what you're doing. And usually at the core of what our body is trying to teach us is try to want less and be grateful more. Okay? Usually we get hurt when there are things that we want that we cannot have. And that's ultimately the pain and loneliness and emptiness of a breakup, is when there's something that we wanted but we just can't have. And the more we can't have it, the more we'll suffer. So this is why there's religion. This is why there's spirituality. This is why the #1 selling book in the world is the Bible, because everyone suffers. Everyone has gone through this. And prophets and teachers and gurus, the Buddha, the Dalai Lama, this Osho, there's Eckhart Tolle, there's Muji, there's endless people out there who are trying to spread great teachings of, try to want less, be grateful more. Okay, the world we live in, though, is 90% geared towards the opposite of that. The world wants us to go out and party, wants us to buy, wants us to spend money, wants us to work 9 to 5 and then spend all the money that we make, wants us to get into this cycle, okay? Almost as if we're being farmed, yeah? It's like in the movie The Matrix when Morpheus gets the Duracell energy battery, or whatever, Energizer battery, whatever, and says, this is what we are. We're fueling our economies, yeah? By just working all day and then spending all our money, and then spending our money on what? Medications, antidepressants, drugs, alcohol, distractions, entertainment. It's all about wanting more. Who has more, And sadly, there's nothing wrong with wanting more and having nice things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want all of that. I want to have a beautiful life but keeping it in balance, keeping that balance of being grateful every day for all the things that you have and appreciating simple things, appreciating just having a cup of tea or a glass of water, appreciating your own relationship with yourself, not always needing more people. So when we go through a breakup or a loss and we're using other people as a crutch to keep us entertained, to keep us occupied, to keep us, to give us company, understand that if you do that excessively, you're going to prolong your healing. Okay? When you've been hurt, your body feels pain for a reason. It's not because there's a God that hates us and it's bad. It's not because we're messed up and we have a problem. No, you're operating completely normally. So don't worry about that. The pain that we're feeling is just simply there for us to remember, okay? Because we'll remember. When we feel pain, we'll remember. When we're a little baby, we see beautiful fire, a candle, and we want to touch it. Because when we're younger, we have less of a fearful mind. We have more of an open heart. We're just drawn by love. And when we touch the flame, we're going to remember the pain. And then next time, we're going to be protected. Okay? So pain is our body's, it's our part of who we are. It's an awesome part of us. Be grateful for it, love it, accept it, and realize what it is. It's just a part of us that helps us. In fact, you could argue pain helps us the most in life. So we shouldn't hate it. We shouldn't be trying to bury it with alcohol or run away from it by filling our time with more stimulation, whether it's like people who are around us, talking to us, trying to constantly make new friends and, that don't last for a long time, just constantly just talking to people. It could be on online dating sites or whatever it is. Trying to fill your time up and not allow this pain and this burn to happen is going to make it longer. Remember the nicotine patch example, okay? So you want to transition from the place that you were when you were with your ex or whatever, back to normal, back to the relationship, the greater relationship with yourself. And there's no problem with transitioning that. So if you've just been hurt and you want to transition, it's okay to have a nicotine patch, but make sure it's a transition, make sure that it's a healthy replacement, and that you're not going to just kind of go into a rebound relationship and get hurt again, or depend too much on drink or numbing the pain. So you need to feel it, understand why you're hurting. It's there to help. It's there to teach you, to remind you, so that in the future you're not going to allow perhaps your lust or your greed or anything to influence you to make poor decisions. Yes, it's hard to make the right decisions sometimes. Sometimes we want to go with what feels good, but remember, much of what we believe feels good has been taught to us by our society, by the magazines, by our culture, by movies, and whether it's sex, whether it's partying, whether it's whatever, drugs, alcohol, money, owning things, this has all been taught to us. From an early age, we could all have gone down way different paths, but we've all gone down this path because that's our society. And our society is awesome too. It's just that it's easy to fall for the distractions. So trust the pain, be okay with the pain. It happens so that we can remember what has hurt us, learn, improve, become better, and then make better decisions in the future. Remember that the goal is not to be happy all the time. That's not the goal. All right? The goal shouldn't be that, oh man, I feel emptiness, I feel depressed, I want to just be happy all the time. Yeah, sure, you're going to feel empty, you're going to feel depressed, you're going to feel sad, whatever. And if you embrace it, if you just go through it, if you just feel it, like I said, it's like when you've eaten something bad, you're just going to be puking. So every time you feel that emptiness, that burn, that horrible feeling of loneliness and oh, I've got nothing to, what's the point of living now and all of this kind of stuff. Remember, those feelings, that's the purge. You're vomiting everything. You're getting it all out of your system, and you're realigning yourself with a new normal. And you're going to fall in love with that new normal. Just give it time. All right? All things are going to pass. Nothing lasts. Even the way you feel right now, it's not going to last. Tomorrow you're going to be happy. The day after that, you could be sad and angry. The day after that, you could be, in an amazing state. This is life, okay? We're not going to be happy all the time. That should not be the goal. And that's another video that I think I've made in the past. I'll make it again, which is our big problem with our society is how we worship happiness. And we think that we're supposed to be happy all the time, and that's the goal. That's what we're sold on in movies and stories and books. That isn't life, people. It's not going to be life. You're not going to be happy all the time. It's put that out of your head. You can be at peace with everything that's going on, and that in it is a much greater way to live than to be happy all the time, because happiness is an emotion, so is sadness. And if we get too happy, there's always going to be the drop, because life is never going to just be happier, 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 happier. I mean, you can do that. I do believe that's possible. But it's the way that's done is through not adding things into your life, like a girl or a guy or money or, experiences. It's about becoming more and more grateful with what you have. That's the key. So, as I was telling someone today earlier, someone commented on one of my videos, and I basically replied and said, look, the more we want things, the more we're going to potentially suffer. Actually, I can confidently tell you that the more you're probably going to suffer when you have more wants in life. The more grateful you are for what you already have, the more you're going to bring happiness into your life. So it all boils down to really that. And I see it every day in my training, in my gym, when we're training wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mixed martial arts, whatever it is. It's all about training yourself to see the positive in any situation. So if someone takes you down to the floor, puts you on your back, and is sitting on top of you, and is beating you up, what we are learning and what the best, toughest fighters, the champions in the world learn and train every day, day after day, train their minds to, no matter what position or situation they're in, whether they're on their back, on the floor, to find the positive in those situations and to focus on that. And I tell you, if anyone out there does martial arts or any sort of, fighting or anything like that, you'll know that the hardest people to beat are those people, are when you take them down and you put them on their back and they're still not giving up and they're still going. It's mentally, it's mentally just brutal when you fight with people like that, because they just don't give up, and they're not trying to. When they're on their back, they're not thinking about, oh, I need to stand up and get on my feet. They're just thinking about, right there and then, what they can do. So rather than being on their back, turn to their side. They're just thinking about the best thing they can do in that situation. And then when they step up, then they think of the best thing they can do in that situation. And that's how they move forward. So just to translate that metaphor, I guess, it basically means that find the good that you have right now. Find the positive that you have right now. Find the things that you can be grateful for. Whether it's breathing, or just being alive, or having family, or having friends, or having, so many amazing sources now of wisdom and information out on YouTube or in books. We always have something to be grateful for, and that is our route towards happiness. And is it a pleasant way? Is it an easy way? No, it's not. It's going to take work. It's going to take courage. It's going to take effort. It's going to take patience. It's going to take discipline. But if you're a lazy person like I am, then do a little bit every day, and that's it. Do a little bit of journaling every day. For me, making videos has been huge, and I encourage everyone out there to do it. to this day, I haven't told my friends that I do this. It's been, I don't know, maybe a year and a half or 2 years of doing videos, and well, not 2 years, but about a year and a half now, and I haven't told anyone. It's a secret. It's just my secret, and I, through doing this, I'm putting my attention, like I've just put 25 minutes of my attention on things that are productive, constructive, empowering, okay? You put your time and your attention on good things. And through sharing, through teaching, we learn, we refine our way of thinking. You'll also learn how to speak and string words together. I couldn't really speak very well at all, but this has helped me with my confidence, with my speaking, with also my learning. So there are many, many, many replacements and crutches we can turn to when we are hit with that huge change in our life, and transitioning towards, just a different way of life, without the person that we were in or whatever. And picking the right things is critical. And you want to pick, I guess maybe one day I'll do a video on like what are the healthy things, healthy distractions, healthy addictions. I mean, just off the top of my head, sports, nature, hiking, eating, changing your diet to really healthy foods, good activities, learning, whether you go back to school or you do, I don't know, jiu-jitsu or take classes, letting go of things like old clothes, old furniture, changing your environment, traveling, going on trips, spending more time with people who are bringing good energy and real love into your life, studying, learning more about yourself. I mean, it's an endless list. Maybe you're thinking, oh, this is a little boring. I'd rather drink and go to a club and, find another mate so that I can just cuddle and kiss and have sex. Yeah, those things are awesome too, but there's a time and place for everything. And, when you're in pain, when there's loneliness, when there's emptiness, when there's anger, when there's sadness, don't be in a rush. Those things need to heal first before you can go back and start adding more stimulation into your life. You don't have to add more stimulation in your life. People who live simpler lives are usually much happier and much healthier. People who, just enjoy doing less, and they've learned that through life, that through being grateful and enjoying simpler things, that's the true happiness. Guess what? Most of these celebrities, most of these wealthy people, they live simple lives. They just enjoy simple things in life. They're not always partying. They're not always out. Look, sadly, unfortunately, from my experience in life, it's mostly people that don't have much money, or doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it's the people that are more lost, that are going out, partying more, distracting themselves more, need the attention of other people more, need that validation more. So, are we able to change? Of course. And breakups and losses and things like this are like catalysts. They're like a huge opportunity. It's a big, major event that you can be very grateful for that is happening, and you can use it as it's kind of like an old house. Your life's been an old house building on this foundation, and kind of like have made wrong decisions, and the house is kind of like developing, and it's okay, but it's not amazing. And then when you have a breakup, it's like the foundation gets rocked, and you can either try to hold on to this house and kind of keep it, and a lot of people tend to do that, and like, oh, there's some holes here, let me fill it up with some Tinder dates, or there's holes here, oh, this part's hurting, let me drink some alcohol, or just try to keep this old structure intact. Or you can just allow it to crumble, which is what I did, and a lot of people do, allow it to crumble, and then start rebuilding an amazing, better foundation than before, and then just brick by brick put beautiful, solid, awesome bricks, because the person you are now knows so much more than the person you were a year ago or 2 years ago or three or before, 5 years ago, even a day ago. So with all that you have now, you can rebuild something more amazing. And when I'm talking about rebuilding, I'm talking about yourself. You're going to rebuild. You're going to body, mind, emotion, and beyond. You're going to make them all better than they've ever been. And it doesn't have to happen overnight, and it doesn't have to be this huge dramatic change. It can just be slowly, and it can be in the clothes that you wear, it can be in the way you look after yourself, it can be in how you're eating. I never was into sushi. My whole life, mentally, I was like, it's too small, it's not hot, I like hot meals, it's expensive, and it's raw. Okay, so like I was always like, what is this? Is so like not me. Yeah, I tell you, like I am so addicted to sushi now. It's one of my favorite foods. It's and I look at it completely differently. It's light, highly nutritious, very healthy. It's like avocados, fish, a really good food. But the point is that we all are in a constant state of change. It's just, are we going to hold on to this old crumbling building, or are we going to allow it to just fall so that we can build something new? And that's the beauty of life, is breaking things down to build them back up stronger. And you'll see that everywhere in nature. Okay? So just to wrap it up, the goal isn't to be happy all the time. Get that out of your head. The goal is to learn to accept what's going on and to find the positive in any situation. If you can train yourself to do that, you're going to become an incredibly powerful human being. You'll be out, and it will affect you in every part of your life, in your work, in your sports, in your even like dating. Someone rejects you or is being difficult, you stay positive and you keep seeing the positive. And the opposite sex loves that, especially if you're a guy. Women love that when you are not discouraged, when you're still energized and positive and always seeing the strength. Women love that. Women love it. Guess what? Not just women, all people love that. You want to be around people who are like that, who are strong, who are energized. And guess what? You might think that you're weak and depressed and you can't do it. Strong people are just as weak. Strong people are just as empty. It's just that they've made this decision to be strong. Okay, so that's all it comes down to at the end, is making the decision to just take the right steps forward. Allow yourself to go through all the pain and the suffering and the purge. Let it happen, but keep moving forward. Don't dwell in this darkness and sadness. Allow it to come up, cry, feel angry, feel the sadness, feel the emptiness, but be okay with it, and then just make the right decisions moving forward. Because you're not in, trying to control your emotions, trying to control your thoughts, I have found is very difficult. There are many ways to do it, through journaling, through affirmations, but the best way of all to do it is through making good decisions in life. That's the ultimate way. So it's almost like prevention, right? The best cure is to prevent. Making good decisions in life, or better decisions in life, will just improve your life. So don't be so hard on yourself. The pain is just a part of our life. There's a reason why we feel pain. Okay? It's there to help us. It's there to Pain is there. It's telling us, hey, hey, hey. It's trying to guide us towards things. Try to guide us towards different path to what we might be on. Alright, so this video has gone into 35 minutes now, and like I said, I'm in a new place, and I'm going to try to work on, I don't know if I'm going to use this angle or a different angle next time, but we'll see. And I'll make more videos, and at the moment I'm coaching 4 people, and there's more people who are contacting me for coaching, but I'm trying to keep it to like 3 or 4 at a time, because just so that I can stay focused and give good help, basically. So, but yeah, just keep, if you are interested, if you need help, get in touch, and I'll make it work somehow. But yeah, allow the pain. Don't run away from it. The more you run away, the more it's going to linger, and then you're going to deal with it maybe in 10 years or 20 years or 2 years. So process it, go through it. It's okay, I think it takes at least like 6 months. But hey, 6 months goes by quick. Rather than trying to rush and fill your time up, and then you could have healed in 3 or 6 months. Now you're just kind of lingering on for another year or 2. And you wind up passing on your pain and suffering to other people, which is just not cool. So, I have found that we are attracted to people who remind us of our exes, and then we treat those people like we treated our exes. So when we come out of a relationship, it's important that we try to heal, try to improve, so that when we go into our next relationship, we're going to look for someone who's a better match for us. We're not just going to go into the same sort of relationship again. We want to improve our life and move forward, okay? And yes, it takes courage, bravery, strength, and yes, courage and bravery are the same thing, I know, but I kind of wanted to repeat it. Courage, bravery, discipline, patience, awareness, so important, self-awareness, be aware of what's going on in your head. Are you thinking of negative thoughts? Are you thinking, oh, this person said something mean to me, so it must be true, and I am this person that, no, lift yourself up. As my objective with my coaching clients is to turn them into their own coaches. That's what my goal is. You've got to become your own coach. You've got to be talking in your head positively to yourself. When there's a negative voice in your head, whether it's planted there from someone else or if it's just from yourself, you've got to rise up and stand up against it and be like, no, I am amazing. I am awesome. I'm grateful for everything that I have. And my life is going to just become more and more amazing. You've got to have this vision for the future that is going to be an amazing, awesome vision, okay? So fill yourselves up with powerful things, whether it's people, food, activities, whatever, and be okay with that emptiness and that loneliness and that anger. It will pass. It will pass. Believe me, I didn't think it would. I went through the worst thing that, it's not the worst. You're all going through it. But it will pass. And when it passes, you're going to feel, wow, you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't ever think I would get to this point. But it will pass. You just have to move forward, limit the destructive things into your life, whether it's bad people, bad habits, bad thinking, crutches that prevent you from fully healing, and then open the door to healthy things, good people, good activities, all right? So, wow, 40 minutes. I think this might be one of my longest ever videos, and I wonder if YouTube's going to even let me upload it all in one shot. Hopefully it will. All right, people, we'll talk to you soon. Adios for now.